Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and I have a doozy for you. We have a complete Auto World set that came out back in 2016-ish. And yes, it did take me that long to complete this set. And you will sort of find out why as we go on. This is by far the strangest and weirdest and most difficult Auto World set to wrap your head around what is going on, and part of it has to do with that right there, but that is not the full story. So some of these were sold. There were some Walmart exclusives, Walmart exclusive Auto World, and they were entirely very strange. First of all, this sticker does not even necessarily mean that they were exclusively sold at Walmart, because some of the non-exclusive ones got the sticker by error. It was just a mess of a release, and I've got them all to show you. So we'll start out with the most normal cars in the set, which is going to be, let's start with this one right here. This is the 1971 Dodge Dart Swinger. I estimate that these were limited to 3,502 pieces. Okay, they didn't put the how many were on there on the packaging. However, I think I got this this information from my buddy Michael Newland Jr., and he helped me with some of this stuff, figuring out what's going on. So 3502, this is the version A, and it is in bright red, and it's a pretty nice looking little Dodge Dart Swinger. We got 71 dirt on the plate. Everything's normal, right? It's version A, and in typical Auto World releases, you're going to have a version A, and then of course you're going to have a version B, and this is the version B in Plum Crazy. Again, likely limited to about 3,502 pieces, and this is what you've got here. So 3,502 pieces, 71 dart, Plum Crazy. Everything's peachy and normal so far. And then of course we got the Ultra Red, which is this right here. Here is the Ultra Red. So we're going to say the Ultra Red, based on a 3% calculation, like 210 pieces. If you take 3,502, multiply it by 2, then multiply it by 0.03, you get 3% of the total production, which we're going to say is around 210 pieces. All right. Does that make sense? That makes sense so far. This is all standard. This is normal. Version A, version B, the Ultra Red. The Ultra Red, no matter what, if you find it on a version A or version B card, it's going to be the same car. There's no variation. All right, so where it starts to get a little bit strange right off the bat is now we got version A, version B, and then Ultra Red. And then we have version C. So that's strange right there. They did a couple releases that had version A, B, C's, and then D right there. So, okay, so there's 4 cars for the Dodge Dart Swinger. This is in burgundy, and the other one's in turquoise. And everything's the same, basically. The trim's the same. It's a 71 Dart. All is pretty much normal. And then the Ultra Red. So the Ultra Red actually is exactly the same as this version A, B one. There's no different Ultra Red for these two cars. It's literally this one. It's the same. So about 110 of those you'd probably find on either a C or D card, whereas if you were a carded collector, 210 of them you'd probably find on the A or B card. But there's no difference in the car. It is the one Ultra Red across the entire release. And by the way, the C's and D's, these were limited to 1,836, okay, each. So 3,502, 3,502, 1836, 1836, likely, I'm guessing, 320 of these cars. And you could have find them across 4 different cards. If you're a carded collector, you can see how this gets a little insane. So, all right, so that's the first car in the release, and that's a pretty easy one to think about, to wrap your head around and stuff like that. We're definitely going to have to back this up a bit because this release has a lot of cars. All right. So sticking with sort of the same thing. Well, let's do this. Let's go right in order. So number 2 in the set actually was 1966 Oldsmobile 442. Here is your version A car in Lucerne blue, and again 3502 is likely what it was limited to. Pretty nice casting, looks great. Lucerne blue, good color for the car. Of course, all these, if you're not super familiar with Auto World, they have opening hoods, engine detail. Detail on the plate, Dr. Olds, and just beautiful cars all around. So that's version A, 3502, limited to 3,502 pieces. And then here's version B in Silver Mist. Again, limited to 3,502 pieces. Okay. So, of course, we got version A, version B, and then we have an Ultra Red, right? So here's the Ultra Red. Right here, nice looking Ultra Red, good, beautiful red paint. Back then, they didn't do the red tires or the white bases or anything else. It was just an Ultra Red. Ultra Red was just a color variation mostly, but they were a limited one. And so we're going to say 210 pieces for this, right? And then here's where it gets a little weird. We've got version C is in gloss white. Okay, that's 1836, right? 1,836. All the C's and D's are going to be limited to that same amount. So that's version C in white. Looks great in white. Looks fantastic. Really, really cool. And then we can follow that up with a version D, which is in gold. This is trumpet gold. Kind of a cool color for this. It's a metallic gold. Looks pretty good, you know. All is fine in the world. We've got, you know, A, we've got B, and then we've got we'll just call it the Ultra Red for A and B, and then we've got C and D, but then we also have an Ultra Red for the C and D release. Strange, right? 220, 110, and I'm got some of these numbers are estimates, so don't take my word for it as exact production numbers. But what's the difference? So this one is for the C and D release. This one's for the A and B release. And the only difference is, let's see if you can spot it. Can you spot it? Can you spot it? It's the interior color. This interior color is black. And I think up until this release, every interior on every Auto World car, I believe, was black up until now. So this is going to be the first time we see a different color interior. And this is red, which matches the version C interior, which is red. Okay, so that's a little weird. We've got two different Ultra Reds now to collect for this particular casting in this particular release, and that is just the start of it. Now, going back to normal for a little bit here, we've got the Chevy Impala SS, which is the third car in the release. The version A is in willow green. Nice looking color, by the way. Really kind of silver green looking color, and it looks fantastic. Quite fantastic indeed. Kind of a cool Impala, looking really good. There's your version A. And then we have version B, kind of a plain looking red, but decent looking regal red is the paint color, I believe. And here's this guy. You can look under the hood if you want. Well, I can't get the hood open. But there it is. It's regal red, version A, version B. And then we have, of course, the Ultra Red for this, which is your version AB Ultra Red. Looking pretty decent, right? Looking good, just Ultra Red paint, real basic. And then, of course, following what we've been doing here, we've got a version C. And this version C with the C's and D's, again, reminder, they are more limited than the version A's and B's. This C one is in mist blue. Looks pretty good. Looking pretty decent. So there's that. And then, of course, version D is right there. And that one is Aztec Bronze. And then, of course, we got the Ultra Red. Well, the Ultra Red goes back to what we got going on with the Swinger. There's nothing different about the Ultra Red from version A to B to C to D. No difference, no variation, nothing. This is it. So this is the Ultra Red no matter what 4 cards you find it on. And thus will be limited to, I would say, approximately 320 pieces for that one. So we can go ahead and line these up back here. And then what should we do next? You know, actually, oh man, I'm going to save the Firebird for last. That's what makes this release super weird. Let's go ahead and do, I'm going to skip all the way to the end of the release, which is going to be this guy right here. This is the 1958 Plymouth Fury. We have it in A, in this copper glow. Kind of an oddball color, really oddball factory color. Cool car from Auto World. I don't think we've seen them release this particular car in a little while. Of course, this is the Christine car. That's where this casting debuted for Auto World, is as Christine. So here's your version A. And then our version B is in buckskin beige. Pretty nifty. Nice beige color. Kind of a neat little color combo of cars here. And then, of course, the Ultra Red, which is this right here. For the AB release, this is your Ultra Red. So let's go ahead and line these up. We got the A. We got the B. We've got the Ultra Red. We'll leave that out for a second. And then version C is in gloss black. Very nice looking release, black and gold. Looks really good. So this is pretty cool. 58 Fury in the plate, just like the other ones. Same plate, same all that. That's your version C, and then your version D is in blue bonnet blue. And it looks pretty good. And then your Ultra Red, same thing. It's this guy right here. So it follows the same thing as the Swinger, as the Impala, and the Fury. Those 3 cars in these releases, or in this release of Auto World Premium Release 5. Again, this was released around 2016, and this is before they were numbering their releases. This was just called Premium Release 5. There was 4 releases, of course, before it throughout Auto World's Premium series. This one is Release 5. This is before they started labeling by the year. So after this release would be 2017 Release 1, would be the release that follows this release. But anyway, so 5 cars to collect if you want to collect all the Furies, right? If you're not a car collector anyway. Now, this is where it gets really, really strange, okay? Really strange. We'll save the Firebird for last, but this one is a weird release too. This is the 5th car in the set. So the Firebird's technically the 4th. We're doing it last. So this is the 5th car in the set, and this is the 1964 Ford Galaxy 500 XL. Notable thing about this is the first time that we've seen this car with a teardrop hood and on a raised chassis. Okay, so, and then you get it in white. That's the first one. So it's very cool in white. Looks really good. White with white rims. Very nice looking release. This is a pretty sought after piece nowadays because it's a really cool one. I really like it. I'm glad I picked up, I think, a couple of extras I've got in my pile. And then version B is in gloss black, and man, this one looks amazing. This is just a real fantastic looking one. Got the red line wheels, black hubs, and it just looks really, really good in black. That is fantastic looking. All right, Then we've got the Ultra Red, and here's the Ultra Red. This looks fantastic as well. I think I got this Ultra Red off of eBay back in the day, I want to say. I purchased one off of eBay. So this, again, limited to approximately 210 pieces, but it's not going to be, because here's where things get a little bit strange on this particular car. And it's because I found this one on the pegs. You notice something wrong here between this and that? So there must have been some sort of factory issue. This one was put out on the standard Ford Galaxy base, not the raised one. So the stance is lower on this car. And to add weirdness to that, I know of at least one person that has found one of these on a lower base as well. And I don't have one on a lower base. I would love to find these regular ones on a lowered base, but I've only seen one in existence. I've never seen any others. The person found it on the pegs. It was Wade Fordsman. He's on YouTube and Instagram. He actually found it, I think, and he filmed finding it even in the store. He used to do in-store videos. I don't think he really does them anymore, but he found it. And he found this car on a lowered base. I don't think he ever opened it. He left it packaged. But that is a sweet auto road piece. Wade, if you still watch my videos at all, you might want to think about, I know you're a Ford fan, but it would really fit good in my collection here. But yeah, so we've got A, we've got B, we've got the Ultra Red, and then we got this weird Ultra Red that you guys probably wouldn't almost believe me if and think it's a custom. It is not. It is legit. I found it on the pegs at Walmart in Grand Chute near Appleton, Wisconsin. I don't remember the exact date, but I think it's probably on my Instagram. And I didn't even notice the difference until I opened it up. But how strange is that, right? So we got A, we got B, we got an Ultra Red. And then, I don't know, if we want to call that an error or a variation, let's just call it a variation of the Ultra Red with a lowered base. Well, then we have C in red. So here's your version C. Looks good. Again, this is on the raised base. All the rest of these are going to be on the raised base. We got the version C. Looks really good in red. And then we have the version D in silver smoke gray with gray hubs. So notice how these have gray hubs, not white like the other cars. And then we have the Ultra Red for that one, which has gray hubs and a red interior. Actually, all the Ultra Reds have red interiors, but the only difference is the gray hubs. Now, so what we're gathering is like there's only slight differences in the Ultra Reds if there is a C and D version, and usually it's because it's going off of the traits of the version either A or C car. And that's why we have gray hubs on this one and white hubs on the other. But completely strange. So if you want to collect this full set, I would say your chances of actually finding one like this, the lowered base one, probably very, very slim. I'm sure there's only very, very few of those made. I would just guess that there has to be very, very little amount of those made. And I'm probably correct on that. But so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars to collect. And then if I could find that lowered one, that would be 8. I know one exists in black. They probably exist in the white ones as well. I doubt by the time they produce these that there was a difference. But like I said, very, very weird release, confusing release. And so that's that. But there's more. We've got the Firebird to deal with. And we'll just start with this one here. So this is the 1976 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. I have on here that these are made in unknown quantities because I do not know, because of the Walmart exclusive ones, I don't know what they did. This was like a big deal though when it came out and trying to find these cars. So there was a Walmart exclusive and then an other store in the other stores that you could find the other ones in. super strange. This first one in version A is in goldenrod yellow, and it has no bird on the hood. So there's no bird on the hood. It's goldenrod yellow. It's a Trans Am. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty awesome. And then we, of course, got a version B. And the version B is in lime green metallic, and it has a bird on the hood right there. Okay? Easy enough, right? Well, not really, because then we got the Walmart exclusive, which is the yellow one with a bird on the hood. So same deal, but has the bird, right? So let's do this. So we got no bird, 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 and then what do you think? For the Walmart exclusive, no bird on the green one. All right, so that's already 4 cars to collect, right? So yeah, it's odd, it's different, it's weird, it's strange, but it gets stranger, a little bit stranger. So as we're doing this, so we've got the regular store releases, the Walmart exclusive releases, then we have the Ultra Red. So this is the Ultra Red for the non-Walmart exclusive release, no bird on the hood. And maybe I'm already getting confused here, so we should probably rearrange these like this, and then like this, and then this Ultra Red technically would fit in right there, okay? And then there's also an Ultra Red for this, and this was the last piece I had to find to complete this set, was this one right here. So this is the Ultra Red, and the Ultra Red has the bird on the hood. Other than that, it's the exact same thing, just has the bird on the hood. So that's your Ultra Red Walmart exclusive. So we'll set that right there. But we're not done yet, because we also have to deal with the version C right here. And this version C is in, where are my notes here for the color? Athena Blue Poly. Beautiful color for this Trans Am, by the way. It looks really, really nice. So here's this, and that's all fine and dandy. It's a version C. We know so far in these releases we're getting, you know, version C's and of course version D's, which we're getting real close to the camera here. I'm running out of space, but there you go. So there's your version D, and that one is Cordovan Maroon Poly. And again, so these version C's and D's, they're going to be limited to 1,836 pieces, and I believe they printed that right on the packaging. So there's that. So that's pretty cool. So we got the version C, we got the version D, and then of course we have an Ultra Red for the version C and D release. Yeah, okay, we're real confused now. So now this doesn't have the bird on the hood. And so you're like, well, it probably looks exactly the same as the non-Walmart exclusive one. And you'd be right, except for one very minor detail, but it is a detail and it is a difference. So I am counting it as a different Ultra Red. But so if you look right here, these Trans Am logos are red because they match the version C. So that's red. It's red on there. Red back there, right? Bird brain. And then, of course, it's red on here. Red over silver, and yeah, so the Trans Am logos, right? Well, on this one, right here, they are yellow to match that guy. They're yellow and gold. Look at that. Or gold. Or really more gold, I guess. Well, yeah, they're yellow over gold. Trans Am. Trans Am. So here's our difference. So they're different. Almost looks like the plate's different, but I think it's just a printing issue. But yeah, the weird thing about these two, I think these all have the same date on the bottom too. 10/12/2016. And no, they don't. This one is 5/30/2016 is a production date. So the C's and D's were made later. So really, if you wanted to get nitpicky on this, you could probably say that, yeah, there's a difference in the Ultra Red for the version AB and CD of this one because it probably has a different date. It's going to have that October date instead of the May date. We can kind of prove that too if we look at this one here, because we know there's a difference. This is May, and then this is going to be October. Yeah, October and May. So, yeah. Maybe I could get more ultra red. So this one probably, I bet you, says May on the bottom. Where's the printing? It's hard to see. Yeah, but that I'm pretty sure that is the May 30th date. Just rubbed off a little bit. But if we get the other one, it probably has the October date. And we could do it the same for this one. This is going to have the October date. Yep. And then this one would have the May date. So really there is more differences out there, I guess, but the cars are the same. There's no real variation in the actual car. So, does this make sense to you guys? It is a weird release, and thus the long video for it. So, in short, the Swinger, the Impala, and the Fury. You got 5 cars to collect because there's one Ultra Red per 4 cars, right? So you got the 4 A, B, C, D, and then the 1 Ultra Red variation. There's no variation aside from probably the date on the bottom of the car, which I'm not going to really consider a variation. Or then you've got the 442 and the 442, and I guess the Galaxy and the Bird, which do have versions, different versions from A, B, C's, and D's. So there's those, and then you've got that weird one-off, this thing right here, this Galaxy that's lowered. If you can find one of these, big ups to you. If you have this series at all in your collection, look at it closely to see if you've got any of the regular cars, you know, on a lowered base. And then you got the weirdest one, the Bird, because it's got the Walmart exclusive as well. So it's got the Ultra Reds from both sets, and then the Walmart exclusive Bird. That makes sense to you? So hopefully it does, but that's it. That's Auto World Premium Release 5. Took me forever to complete, and now we finally got it. Just a strange release. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or were able to use it as somewhat of a resource for you if you're an Auto World collector. And of course, if anybody knows anything else about it or any other details, let me know. I would be glad to hear you. So yeah, thank you guys very much and have yourself a good day.